Okay, today is August 24th, 2018, and we're looking at the Hawaii water vapor map. This is Hurricane Lane, which has been beat down to Category 2 status. Let's go ahead and look at the Hurricane Center map, and we can see that Hurricane Lane is producing 110 mile per hour sustained winds. Central pressure has risen to 962 millibar and is moving north at only 5 miles per hour. Okay, so now the trek for Lane is to make a hard left turn right about, well, starting about tomorrow, according to this map. And then it will continue moving west where it was a couple of days ago. So I find this very strange, very, this is not a coincidence. These weather controllers have steered this storm. Lane had the entire East Pacific and Central Pacific to move around. And what do we see but a perfect navigation of a hurricane right by these islands out in the middle of the ocean? Hundreds of thousands of square miles of ocean, and yet this thing decides to make a turn right inside this channel here where these islands are. That's not a coincidence. Let's look at the water vapor map again. Here we see that Lane is being targeted. Notice the blast pattern, the scatter pattern, which is all the way around the southwest, south side and up on the northwest side, all the way around. And we see where the targeting is originating right here. We can see a circular blast, a hole right there where the system was targeted right there. Let's go ahead and stop the loop and we'll scroll through from the beginning. We can see the hole right there. And by the way, there's a blast, a continuous blast. We've been watching this since last night. The storm is actually, they're putting the brakes on the storm by hitting it from this side. And that's why the blast pattern is all the way around on this side and not up here. So they're targeting it from this side in order to slow it. And then that will, and then they'll probably start hitting it on this side, and that will push it back in a westerly direction. Okay, let me get this. All right, so we see that hole open up right there. As we move to the next frame, we can see what happens. Another hole opens up. So this thing is being repeatedly targeted throughout the loop. Now here we see a blast pattern, and then the sequence is stopped. And right here we begin to see a blast pattern up on this side. All right, so this storm has been knocked down to Category 2 status. Here in the infrared map, we can see the color change right here. That storm is being hit. The eyewall has disappeared, obviously. There's no more eyewall because of all the disruption in the center of the storm. Look at this blast pattern towards the end right here. Look at that. The entire side is blowing out. And look at the pressure wave out here, moving out to the east. It takes some pretty good power. Space-based microwave or laser will accomplish this from a low Earth orbiting satellite or network of satellites. That's probably what's happening. Because with low Earth orbit satellites, you don't have geosynchronous orbit. These satellites orbit in a prescribed manner around the Earth. And so there's got to be a number of them. They could be polar orbiting or But the point is that in order to direct energy at these storms in a precise manner, space would be the way to do it. You can't park a ship anywhere near what's going on out here because of the swells and so forth. It would just seem to me to be much more effective and from space, and that's probably what's happening. If you look at the GOES 16 satellite, the pictures that are available online, that is a giant satellite about the size of a bus. Now look here in the visible light map, we see the photoshopping, which is hiding the detail that we're looking for. But towards the night to day transition, we see several dimple marks. Let's go ahead and stop the loop. So we have the night to day transition. We can see a ring right there, and we see a lot of dimple marks in this area right towards the center of the storm. And that's where they're targeting the storm, at least on this frame. And then on the next frame, we see a couple of dimple marks, and we have a big crater over here which is expanding. Let's go ahead and run through it again. See that crater right there, which is rapidly expanding. See what happens. You see that blast pattern, the pressure wave there. So that's what's happening. That's what they're doing to weaken the storm and re-steer it. This is going to make a hard left turn probably tomorrow, according to the map. There's no question that storm is being targeted. But look at the blast pattern, and there's no eyewall, so the organization has been disrupted. Also out here we see these little thunderstorms being blown apart. This one here, and look at the ring left after this area is superheated. Right there, there's a ring expanding out to the west, pressure wave, and also down here to the southeast. So the same thing could happen here. They're just not applying enough power. This is a show being put on by these weather controllers. This storm could have been knocked out 2 or 3 days ago. This one here is completely superheated and destroyed. It's all about the amount of power that's applied. All right, let's look at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see Lane right here. We see another area. There was a disturbance indicated on the East Pacific. That's no longer there. I don't think that's there any longer, but right there, I believe, is where the disturbance was. Here we see this upper level dry low, which is starting to suck a lot of moisture from this hurricane. You can see the pattern right here. Moisture is flowing right into that vortex. Also, we have moisture moving into Southern California. Let's go ahead and look at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We see that upper level vortex, which until today we had no water vapor moving into that vortex. Today we see a different picture. So some of this moisture from that hurricane is winding into that vortex and also into Southern California. And we can see these pockets of moisture right here moving towards Southern California. Certainly San Diego will see some chemtrails here real soon. These chemical aerosols, that'll prevent the rain by capping the atmosphere. So we've got an opportunity for rain right here moving in. And we have San Diego right there. And look at all that moisture, which is moving right in. So those guys will probably see the chemtrails here, if not now, very soon. Also, we have moisture moving into the Santa Barbara area, it looks like, and also into Los Angeles, which is right there. And so everybody report in. It's in the Southern California area. Now, last night I put yesterday afternoon I put a, a posting, just a text posting saying that there was going to be afternoon chemtrails starting in the late afternoon, probably in Ventura. And sure enough, when I was on the freeway driving westbound, I saw the sunset and the skies were full of chemtrails on the western horizon. So everybody living in Southern California, let us know what you see. Certainly by noontime, we ought to be seeing some of this moving in. All right, so that's it for now, and we'll just leave it right here. See that blast pattern? Big hole right there, and the color change. All right, that's it.